Hello and welcome back to episode 11 of the Championship Manager 1997-1998 Lockdown Challenge. And first things first, if you're new around here, please do drop a like on the video, a sub on the channel as well, be great, all those good things. And let's get on with it because I'm trying to, as always, keep the time down. Now, I am recording this practically straight after the other one. Obviously, I had to play through a few games, but I mentioned feeling a bit under the weather at the moment, not running today. I run normally Monday to Friday. Try and squeeze in the weekend if I can, but this is day 4 off now. Just feeling a bit rough, bit of a coldy, fluey kind of feeling. Not completely, but just don't want to risk going out there, and it's a bit grim out there as well. Let's be honest, right now it's not the nicest weather, so I'm just going to delay it and try and get back in tomorrow. Plus, we had a bit of a build around earlier as well, so it's kind of put me back on time a little bit as well. So jumping in straight into episode 11, and I think it's episode 11. Is it episode 10? I think it's 11. 11, yeah, I think we'll go with that. So let's jump in and have a look at results. There's been a few sort of things happening in this sort of run of games. I've got two, and you see top right there, 26th of December. So we're back where we should be. I did manage to remember this time to stop. And the first game where we picked up after our last run was Ipswich. Now, we did unfortunately lose this game. We went 1-0 up through Zahovic. They immediately replied 1-1. We dominated the game. How we lost that game. How did we lose this game? And they went down to 10 men. The Cundy getting sent off after 55 minutes. We absolutely bombarded them, but we just couldn't get the equaliser. We did have some players missing on international duty, which played a part. Game probably should have been postponed, but we don't seem to be getting that in Division 1 at the moment, which is a bit annoying. But really bad result to take there. Bitter one to take on the performance as well. Which didn't lead us well into a home game against second place Wimbledon. Zahovic again getting on score sheet, grabbing 2 this time, turning into a pivotal player, but we are going to be without him. We'll get to that shortly. Mole Ryan added a 3rd as well, but amongst that, Jason Ewell scored 2, Pascal got 1 as well. I think they were all, there's 3 goals on the 6th minute apparently. How that's even possible, I don't know. We took the lead, they equalised, we went 2-1 up, and then about 20 minutes later they went 2-2, and then we went 3-2 up and couldn't hold on at the end, and Pascal grabbed a late one to equalise. 3-3, but as first versus second situation, I was just glad not to lose, especially after the Ipswich game. I was just glad to get out of there with something, especially as it looked like towards the end we were going to lose the game, so to hold on as well was good. We then followed that up with 23rd place Stoke, with Neville Southall getting man of the match in goal, but we did get goals from Graham Tomlinson and Eric Nevland, ending his drought. He's had a few games now where he hasn't been involved in the goals, but we got one here as Dick Schroeder is on the bench for Stoke. Oh, Dicky boy, not really doing too much for a striker, is he? Marco Gabbiadini's in there for them as well. A few players I recognise, obviously Neville Southall. I think he's probably player manager. Paul Stewart, is that in there as well? Yep. I think he was England World Cup 1990 squad, I think. Speaking of which, I'm still struggling to get an England player. I think we might be struggling to finish that this season, get that underway, get that ticked off. We then had Manchester City in the League Cup 4th round, and we did manage to avenge our defeat in the league. I think it was a defeat in the league. Yeah, I think they hammered us, didn't they? Like 4-1 or something. Eric Nevland and Zahovic with the goals. And interestingly, this game, we'd be rewarded with a tie in the quarter-final against Manchester United. So one Manchester club to the other. But I'm going to flick the objectives on the board right now. We can tick one off. Quarter-final of a cup. Obviously, if we get to quarterfinals of both, we get to tick both off, but at least we get to tick one off. So it's a bonus 20. I think it's 20-point bonus. So we've got that in the bag, nice and early on. That's fantastic. But I don't see us getting past Man United. They are just so strong, so dominant, and we're practically their B team. So I don't think we can stand much chance. We then beat Tranmere 2-1. Steve Simonson in goal for them, young goalkeeper. Obviously started out there before going to Everton. Good option if you can afford him and you're a low down in the leagues. They've got Kevin Phillips, brought in from Sunderland, not doing too well there. He's not very good on this game. In real life, in 97-98, he was tearing up the Championship, Division 1, and getting promoted with Sunderland, and then tearing up the Premier League for a few years after that. But John Curtis and Eric Nevland grabbing the goals for us. Again, they were lucky to get their goal, really. Very late on. They were down to 10 men pretty early on. We scored very soon afterwards, Eric Nevland. But we just didn't assert our dominance really into the game. We had enough chances to get a few more, but it wasn't to be. And then I think it's 3rd place Birmingham at this stage. Oh, in that last game, either in that last game or in between it, Tomlinson got injured for 3 months. So fantastic. So in came Michael Twist, but luckily he's back from injury, obviously, so he just sort of slots in there nicely. We did go 1-0 down in this game to Peter and Love, obviously former Man City player. It doesn't show that on here, but he obviously was a former Man City player. Man City, Coventry. I don't really know what he's like on this game. I don't even remember him playing for Birmingham particularly. So I assumed they'd signed him, but apparently not on this game. I mean, not necessarily in real life. But Zahovic got one back, and then Netherlands sealed the win on 52 minutes. Not much else happened in the game. It's fairly even. Could have gone either way, but we managed to hold on just about. And in this game also, we lost another player. Or in between, we lost Zahovic for 3 months. So that's 2 out now. So we have got some business hoping to conclude, which I'll have a look at shortly. Before we then drew 2-2 with Forest. We went 1-0 down. No, we went 1-0 up actually with Curtis getting the goal, but it was disallowed before Pierre Van Hooijdonk put through his own goal. And then then he equalised in the proper end before Bakero equalised a late one after Freddie Leon, another one who's quite good on the game, normally gets goals. Not doing so well generally, but doing okay this season. So a 2-2 draw, and I think they were quite mid-table, so it's another disappointing one really. But today we are going to have Huddersfield. We've got the North FA Cup third round against Northampton. They're in this division as well. Did they come up with us? I don't remember that. I didn't remember it being them, but they must have come up for the playoffs maybe, because I think Wigan come up second, unless they come in the playoffs. I can't remember. And we've also got the quarter-final against Man United, so I thought that would be a good one to have. And then that's actually slotted quite nicely, so we don't have to play Bradford again, because obviously we had Bradford in the first episode of the season, so we can avoid that one out. League table wise, we are currently where are we? I think we're top. Yet we're top by about 5 points now, making a bit of headway ahead of Everton. We have lost 3 games, so that's at least some points deducted from our final score if we stick with Fulham till the end. I don't know exactly how it works. Do I have to roll over those and combine them with whatever team I get with? I don't think so. I think it's just whatever team you go to. If I move to another team, I just take their losses as a whole. Player tables, I imagine Netherlands top goal scorer. He is by a fair distance. He's 8 ahead of Freddie Leon, and then starts to trail off quite nicely behind. So we've actually got a chance of having a top scorer amongst our ranks this season. Obviously we missed out last season with Graham Jones. Team wise, Macanesby is out, so we are going to put in Hoa Hing. I think I have been toying. I was trying to get Sol Campbell. He's now available at Chelsea, but just doesn't want to come. I was thinking of putting Sol Campbell in the defence and sticking John Curtis out to right back, but it's not a decision I need to make anymore, because Sol Campbell said no. He's decided to be loyal to another London club. Obviously in real life left Tottenham to go to Arsenal, which as an Arsenal fan I absolutely loved, because he was immense for us. As we can go and get some chances here. Can we grab one early on? It looks like we've got another injury. So luckily we've got no Hickey on the bench who can practically play any of the positions that we haven't got a sub for otherwise. So it's not ideal in the first 12 minutes, but you know, it is what it is. We'll have to make do with it, but hopefully we've still got enough out there to see off Huddersfield, who I think are quite low, but they are starting to get back into the match, and it looks like they're looking like they're going to actually have the first goal. It looks like, but they haven't actually managed to do it yet. There's going to be a goal from this corner, isn't there? It just reads like there's going to be. There isn't, luckily, but we're not really. They've scored. Please don't be Kevin Phillips with like his second goal of the season or something. Barnes, I don't know what Barnes that is. Don't think it's John. But Luchetti comes back up 1 minute later to get his first goal of the season, I think, and probably his first goal for us in general. He's playing centre back. Doesn't pipe up with too many goals. But we're edging towards half time. Please don't be Curtis injured. We can't afford a defender getting injured now. We've got no other substitute options in that place. Only the 3 subs allowed in the lower divisions, which is so frustrating. Even 5 in the top divisions is a little bit tough, but 3 is very difficult, especially if you want to have a goalkeeper in your bench. I don't. I go without goalkeepers now, as Netherlands puts us 2-1 up, 49th minute. Now we just need to be a bit more stingy at the back and just try and put a few more forward and get a few more goals just to make it comfortable. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that sort of game. But Centurion bangs one out of nowhere, 30-yard goal of the month contender. No idea if that's true. I'm just going to say it is, because that's the sort of player. He pipes up with some goals, and when they are, I imagine they're magical goals. Just pictured it in my head. Letizia-esque. Flicking it up, putting it in the top corner. He's that sort of player. Has twists. Oh, I thought he was going to get his goal on his return. He hasn't scored since he come back from his injury just yet. Looking to get one fairly soon. He's back in the team. Phillips, get a yellow card. Michael Twist, Netherlands, Centurion. See, the simple ones he doesn't score. The tap-ins, the rebounds, he's not interested. Unless it's from 30 odd yards, he just isn't interested. We are going to take Twist off just to try and protect him a little bit. He's just come back from a 8-month-old injury, I think it was, as Mole Ryan gets number 4. Makes it look far more comfortable than the game actually was. And we will take that all day long. Back on the winning path. Back what we need. Cementing that place at the top, and hopefully we've seen the teams around us dropping points lately, so hopefully that has happened again. Wimbledon have been just a little bit stickier since they drew with us. I think they've had a couple of losses and a couple of draws, and I think Everton, I think as well, have been a little bit hit and miss. So hopefully that can continue. But I'm seeing every game practically. There's a shock result happening, and hopefully it frees up some pressure, puts up some pressure on those managers to free up some decent jobs for us to go for. Whether we'd get them, I don't know. But Wimbledon back on the front foot. 4-0 win against Forest, the team that beat us, obviously. Did they beat us or they draw with us? I can't remember. I think we salvaged a draw, didn't we? And then 0-0 Everton. Yes, and Everton slipping a little bit further back again as well, which is nice to see. Week for Hoa Hing, that's not the worst. Hopefully Mac and SB will be back soon, but we're gonna pause it right there. We'll pause the recording, and I'll be back in about a week for the next game. Just before we get to the next game, something in between. I did meant to say we had some business coming in, which I was going to talk about. I totally forgot. So I'd put this deal through for Levan Tishkevich-Vili. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I know he goes on to play for Ajax, or his brother goes on to play for Ajax. I think there was 2 of them. Unless that was Arveladze, wasn't it? But I'm pretty sure this guy did play for Ajax as well. But he's injured for a month. It's to replace Sahovic and Tomlinson, who are out for 3 months. And he's getting goals, but I imagine it's probably in the striker positions. But he's injured for a month. I can't do it. But we have got this other guy who he's doing quite well. I can get to the screen. He's doing quite well in the French second division. And we get another manager of the month. Get in. Have some of that. That's another bonus. A couple of bonus points there. We'll take some of that. Let's get to the shortlist. I put him on here just because I know. Here he is. He's gone up in price. He looks fantastic. He's not a regen, or is he? No, he's not. He's not a regen. He did okay last season. Got a few goals. He is playing from the forward line, but I think he's got passing. He's got some dribbling. He's got some creativity. I think he could slot in behind quite nicely. So we're going to pop a bid in for him. I did have a bid in for him, and I took it out because Tishkevich-Vili was going ahead, and I had no idea he was injured. And we're actually at the next game now, which is Northampton in the Cup. Obviously, they're in our division now. So who do we put at right back? We're going to go with Sigurdsson at right back, I think. Yeah, I could stick Hickey there, but I think I'll stick with Sigurdsson. I think give him a try at that position. Oh, and I've just there's someone missing off. Who's missing? There's something missing. Either a first teamer or a bench player, and we're going to find out. Oh, it's because you're allowed 16 subs. Okay, not such a big deal, but we obviously have already. Oh no, we don't want to do that. We want Hickey coming in for Sigurdsson. Oh, not ideal. I mean, we've reached a quarterfinal now, so we can get a bit of a bonus here. But obviously, if we can do the FA Cup as well. But I mean, to get to the FA Cup quarters, what we got: 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then the quarters. I think so that's another 5 games, or 5 games we've got to get through. I think that's going to be quite a big ask of us, really. Part of me would happily take maybe a loss in this game to a degree. The money in the run's good, and the reputation you get from it to get a better job maybe would help for a few rounds, maybe. But we want to focus on the league now, really. We need to look at promotion just in case that job doesn't come, as Mulrine makes it 2-0. The 2 Man United rejects. Oh, it's disallowed. Disallowed. Cobblers. Just a Soccer AM joke there. What was it? Is it Soccer AM or is it Soccer Saturday? I think it's Soccer AM. Yeah, it was Soccer AM. It's Tim Lovejoy's old joke, wasn't it? I've got his joke book next to me, just reading out the old Tim Lovejoy gags. As Netherlands makes it 2-0. Oh, I mean, around this time when this game was out, Soccer AM was probably at its peak. Tim Lovejoy, Helen Chamberlain, You know, tubes, rocket, the dance off, all of it. You know, the catwalk, everything. It's never makes it 3-0. Let me know in your comments down below your memories and all that of soccer AM on a Saturday. It used to be like, you know, watch soccer AM, go out and play football in the afternoon, maybe come home, watch some football, watch soccer Saturday, or depending on what was happening that weekend, maybe go to a game. But what are your thoughts? How do you remember it? Do you remember it fondly? Do you have the same memories as me of soccer AM? I mean, obviously it's still on now, but it's nothing like it used to be. I mean, football isn't like it used to be. You used to get footballers in the Premier League actually being on the show back in those days. Now, not a chance. Not a chance. There was a joke the other day about Roy Keane going on it, and he said, no chance you're getting me on there. I'm pretty sure it was Soccer Saturday. Was it Soccer Saturday? No, Soccer AM, they were talking about getting him on. I think it was. But, like, you know, Neville and Carragher, I think you see him pop up sometimes, normally just before the live game that day. Oh, and Chelsea are out of the hands of Leicester, so who did they appoint in the end? I can't remember who they got as manager in the end. We didn't get it, did we? And Atletico Madrid, I mean, they just beat Real Madrid 4-0. So they put the pressure on Real Madrid's manager, but now they've had the pressure firmly put back on themselves. Oh, Chorley, were they out? Oh, Sigurdsson's out for a month. Hoahing's back, so that's okay. So we'll leave that there for a second, and we'll come back. Oh, it's Man United in a few days. We'll be back for that shortly. See you shortly. Okay, we're back, and it's Division 1 Fulham versus Premier League Manchester United. In the League Cup, the FA Cup, we did get our draw. It's Reading or Bolton, so we don't actually know just yet. Ronaldo, he's injured. It's only a 5 strain, a couple of days. He's done all right for Man United so far. I'm going to assume they're top of the table with Ronaldo in their team. 7 points clear. I mean, Liverpool, you know, had a decent window themselves. Paul Ince, is he available? Do you know, I'll stick a cheeky bid in for him. I'm pretty sure he's in the World Cup 98 team. If he's not, it's going to come back and bite me because I don't really want him. I tried to get Michael Owen as well. He's not really playing, but he's not interested either. But yeah, they are top, as to be expected. They normally are for at least a year or two. Hoahing's going to come in. He's not completely fully fit, but I think he's still a better option than some of the others we've got, which is really Noah Hickey. He's a good squad utility player, but I wouldn't rely on him for the first team just yet. And we've got Twist out there, we've got Marwan out there, we've got Nevland out there. All ex-Man United players. All hoping. I forgot to mention on the big klaxon on the last episode. Desai was signed from Man United, from AC Milan as well, but he's just picked up an injury. So no big klaxon there. Well, there is for us because that helps us a great deal. I don't know who they brought on. I mean, probably still someone who'd easily get into our team. Although saying that, John Curtis is very good and Luketti is playing very well. Sometimes big names are great, but sometimes the ones who aren't so big. They brought on Sheringham. What are they playing? 4-4-2. Who went back then? I assume Scholes went back into midfield and maybe one of these went back into defence. Haber maybe. But at half time, so far so good. And it's a League Cup quarter final, so it's not an FA Cup game. If it's an FA Cup game and we're going to take it to a replay at Old Trafford, that'd be good for the old money. But not that we need money particularly. We're doing okay in that regard. Definitely overachieving in that regard. Richer than most Premier League clubs, a lot of Premier League clubs at the moment. But as we hit the hour mark, we're still in this. Don't get me wrong, they're putting the pressure on, they're ramping it up. But so far, we have defended resolutely, and so far we have kept them at bay. It feels like it's coming. What do? Do we go for broke? I mean, everyone's playing kind of crap really, so we're taking one ex-Man United player off. We're going to take Twist off as well. I'm going to leave one sub just in case. But we brought Gignac on, see what he can do. We got Conroy on, last season's hero, of course. Fired us to the title and to promotion, and to, more importantly, the challenge completion. And we go to extra time. That's going to be tiring on the old legs for our players, but we are playing practically Saturday to Saturday at the moment. We're not in Europe like Man United, so there's no midweek games, although at the moment around January I don't think they have either. I think they're on the Champions League's in its little hiatus until I think they come back in like February or March I think. But so far we've held them for 110 minutes. Did not have this in mind as a possibility. I thought we were going to be blown out of the way, and it goes to penalties now. Oh, who do we put in our penalties? Right, Heidenstrom's having one. Mulvine. Conroy's having one. What's Gignac like? Gignac's got to have one, hasn't he? Baquero. Baquero's got to have one. Centurion, I don't think, despite everything I say about him, he's not got bad set pieces, to be fair. Luchetti, no. Stensas isn't bad either, to be fair, either. We've got some good options in there. I think we're going to stick with what we've got, though. Heidenstrom's scored a lot of penalties for us, so he probably missed one now. But he's done okay for us in that regard, so I'm not going to take him out, even though he might have better players with better options, better stats. He scored. There we go. But Beckham and Solskjaer. I mean, yeah. Mike Conroy keeps the pressure on 2-2. I don't know if that's a capacity crowd at Craven Cottage. As Marcio Santos, Brazilian international, makes it 3-2. Gignac, he blasts it over the bar. Giggsy scores. Oh, have we missed our chance? Baquero keeps it on. They've got to score their last one. Roy Keane does. Roy Keane scores. I mean, it's disappointing. It's unfortunate. But do you know what? We kept them at bay. They've got Lilian Thuram on the bench. I mean, we've got Noah Hickey on the bench. They got, Thuram. But we kept them at bay for 120 minutes. Didn't concede, except in penalties. I think we can be mightily proud of ourselves for that. We were never going to go and win the title, I don't think. We were not good enough for that. But to do what we did, it's absolutely fantastic. And what more can you say? And we've got a bid accepted. They did actually, I think, reject my bid last time, but maybe I went a bit cheap. Hopefully he'll be interested after all this, because he looks mustard. He looks a good short-term replacement. But let's have a look at where we're going to come back next time. Hopefully with some better luck. But I mean, like I say, I can't be too disappointed really. We're in the final stretches really, so we'll probably look at coming back maybe for sort of Port Vale. I think we did Everton on a live. I think we did Palace on a live. A lot of these teams are going to be done already. It's a bit annoying. We'll maybe, I think we'll come back for sort of Port Vale around here somewhere. Play those three. Obviously there'll be some cup games pushing that around, but we've got the FA Cup to come. And then we'll see where we go for the run-in. It's a tough run-in. Look, we've got Sheffield United, Man City, Ipswich, Wigan. Teams that have either done well against us this season or are around us in the league table. So tough run-in. So we need to do as much as our work now between then and now. Get as many points on the board and just hopefully that's a bit of a buffer and we can hold out at least. I mean, we've just held out against Man United. So if we can do that, we can hold out against some of those. We're going to put Mika on the bench, but I don't think he wants to go, but I don't think we're going to get much or anything interest in him. What's he cost to release? I think I'll keep him there just as a backup. But we've got 3 decent striking options and we've got a few forwards that can play there as well. But if you have enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like on the video. If you're new around here, enjoyed this sort of content, enjoy all these old retro championship managers, there's more to come. Drop a sub on the channel, it's very appreciated. Any comments you want to make as well, I do try and reply to as many as I can. And anything I've asked to talk about in the comments so far today, I'll reply to that as well when and where I can. And until next time for episode 12, I think, yeah, episode 12, I'll see you next time. Take care, goodbye.